Hi, everybody. Welcome back. And today we are going to talk about Libra season, what it is, compare it to our previous season of Virgo, and how you can embrace the energy of Libra into your life. So, let's get into it. Libra season begins in the year 25. It starts on September 22nd and runs until October 22nd. So this is when the sun moves from Virgo into Libra. And this is also the start of the fall or autumn season if you live in the northern hemisphere. This is also when we begin our autumnal equinox. So that means when Libra season begins, the day is equal to the time of the night. So the hours of daylight is equal to the hours of night. So that kind of brings into that balance, which is very beneficial for Libras because Libra is identified by the scales, bringing balance, maybe some kind of judgment to help bring harmony into our lives. So, comparing that to Virgo season, Virgo tends to be more introspective. We are learning how to tidy up our lives, make lists, getting things in orders. Virgos tend to be very detail oriented, practical. The focus of Virgo season is organization, self improvement, and routines. We are shifting out of that introspective self improvement part of our lives, and now that our house is in order, we can now open the doors to bring people in. So, when the sun shifts into Libra, this is a time where we are focused on relationships, we're focused on balance, we're focused on connection. Um, what a lot of people tend not to know about Libra season is that it is actually the masculine expression of the planet Venus. So remember, Venus rules two signs, it rules Taurus and it rules Libra. Taurus is your feminine sign, while Libra is your masculine sign. We tend to think of Venus, the planet Venus, being soft and attractive and romantic, but you got to remember that there are two parts of a thing. Sorry, that's my turtle making noise. There are two aspects to Venus. All the planets, except for the sun and moon, have two aspects, and the outer planets. And we'll get into that in a later video. But so think about Libra's sibling sign, Taurus. Taurus tends to be earthy, it tends to be sensual, it tends to be grounded. This tends to be the time where we're looking to get into the senses. What is it that we enjoy? On the other hand, Venus, being the masculine expression, tends to be a little more intellectual, it tends to be expressive, it tends to be social. It wants to get out there. It wants to get out there because Libra is also one of the four cardinal signs, which means it loves to start things. It loves to get things initiated and moving. Venus is also, not Venus, Libra is also an air sign, so it's connected to initiating through thought, communication, and connection. So we already talked about Venus being a planet of connection. It's a planet of attraction. Venus brings things to it. It brings resources, it brings money, it brings people. Libra loves to combine the energy or the charm of Venus so that it can drive and create relationships, beauty, and balance. So these are things that you want to take into or think about when you are thinking about the sign of Libra. So what does Libra looks like in your life? So textbook Libras, those people that are born under the sign of Libra, tend to be outgoing and friendly. They thrive in social situations. They tend to be relationship oriented. So if you're thinking about your uh, classical zodiac wheel, a lot of times you see Libra situated on the second, or not the second, the seventh house, which is the house of relationships, partnerships, and open enemies. So, um, if you're looking at Libras, they tend to be about partnerships. They tend to be about fairness, which is that balance. Remember the scales. The scales are always trying to settle into balance. And they're very good at seeing both sides of a situation or all sides of the situation. Libras tend to be objective. They can step outside themselves and see multiple perspectives. But because they can see multiple perspectives, they also tend to be very indecisive. They tend to want to try to make the perfect choice, which actually can lead to something that I like to call analysis paralysis, where you're thinking about all the choices and you end up making no choice at all because you want the choice to be absolutely right and in perfect harmony with everything that is around you. And sometimes that just doesn't work. So we all tend to have some level of Libra in our lives. So if you ever look at your birth chart, you may have planets in your Libra sign, and depending on what house or where that sign of Libra falls, they're going to show you where you can bring balance and harmony into your life, right? So me, for example, I have Libra in my first house. I'm a Libra rising. So you can say that one of the biggest themes of my life is finding balance. It is about helping others. So that is one of the things I do as an astrologer, is that I tend to help others find balance and seek balance and find ways to kind of bring their lives into harmony. So how can you personally embrace your Libra season? So a couple things that you can do. We already talked about the first one. Find balance. Ask yourself, where in my life am I leading too far in one direction? Maybe you've been working nonstop, especially because we had a very, very energetically heavy Virgo season, especially because we had a set of eclipses there. Our solar and lunar eclipse were both in the Virgo. So you may have been going nonstop or super hard in some way or another, and now it's time for you to find some rest. Maybe you've been giving more to others and filling their cups, but not filling in your own. So during this Libra season, you may want to take some time to bring balance back into your life, whether that's your work-life balance, whether that's giving, receiving, or a mind-body connection. Another way you can embrace your personal Libra season is to be social. Virgo is all about going into yourself and being focused on self-improvement. So another fun thing about the signs is that Virgo, if you're into tarot, is represented by the Hermit. That is card 9 of your major arcana. And the Hermit is all about going within to find yourself before stepping back out. Libra, on the other hand, wants us to be connected. It wants us to go to gatherings. It wants us to collaborate. It wants us to spend time with people, or at least the people that bring you joy. So remember that relationships are highlighted during Libra season. So try not to isolate yourself if you can. And say maybe you don't want to leave your house. There's always a ton of online groups that you can participate in. Just remember, you just want to be safe because the internet is a very scary place. Also, another thing that you can work on during Libra season is empathy. Libra is about fairness, justice, and seeing all sides of a situation. So practice active listening, have open conversations, and challenge yourself to step into someone else's shoes. A lot of times we're walking around not understanding what could be going on in another person's life. And sometimes, your interaction can make or break them just as well as their interactions can make or break you. So try to be a little more empathetic and compassionate when it comes to dealing with others. This doesn't mean that you have to be in agreement with everybody, but it does help to find understanding so that you can help create harmony in your life or in the life of somebody else. So, in closing, remember that Libra season starts September 22nd and it ends October 22nd of the year 2025. We're moving from being personal self-perfection and improvement in Virgo, and we're stepping out into our social lives. We're trying to better our relationships. And we're also trying to cultivate empathy. So if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with somebody who loves astrology just as much as you and I. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.